Hi there, welcome to this tour of Shelthorpe Golf Course. This is a traveller course designed by the local group that's been playing here since about the start of lockdown. If you want to come play here, a golf business operates in the day. However, after 2 p.m. in the winter or 4 till 6 p.m. in the summer, when they shut, they're very happy for us to come on and play. So here we are, hole 1. This wasn't actually designed by us. This is input from Rich Hatton from DG UK. He's mapped out a prospective course here, and we asked some of his advice because hole 1 has been through a lot of iterations. But he actually had a very nice position for this hole, so we took that on board. Yeah, a lot of the different iterations have come from just safety, playability, fun. As we go into hole 2.
Oh, that's the worst shot I've ever thrown on this hole.
I wasn't happy with that.
It makes me cry. I hope.
I definitely didn't get close there, but this is actually the hole that has been aced by Loughborough Hall of Famer Tom on his first ever trip here. Second hole he plays, rips a Discraft Express and straight in the bucket. We actually got scores of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 from everyone on the card on that day. So somehow I've still got a putt. I didn't deserve one. But yeah, as I was saying, some of the course design has changed because, for example, we've cut a lot of blind holes out, and holes that don't really flow with where the ball golf players play. Which, like myself and Alan here, when we first started coming, we're keen disc throwers, but we really had no idea what we were doing. So input from experienced members of the disc golf community, Neil Pickett, John Tweed, really helped make this course into a place that we've come and played every single week since early June. Hole 3, fun fact, it's never been birdied. Not once.
No, that's pure.
My closest looks have come from forehand rollers. I just don't have the distance. My form isn't there. Blummin' ultimate going and getting in the way. Dodged a bullet there.
Oh.
Nice putt from Alan. So that's Alan in the purple and myself in the green.
Look at that.
Just a quick pan. This is about the most congested area of the course. We've got the tier 5, the tier 4 in the same spot but going in different directions. 4 playing across the green of golf hole 4, and it's one of our few holes with obstacles. I was totally aiming for the left gap there. I do think this is a really fun take on the double Mando with the trees either side, but then an obstacle in the middle, so you can't just aim for the gap and go for it, you've got to pick a side. This is actually the first time I've ever got across for a birdie look. I always hit some little branch. The rough at Shelthorpe is very spindly. There's not a lot of it, you've got a lot of airspace. However, when you do touch something, it's not good, and it's largely invisible. So that was my first birdie on hole 4. Now it's just hole 3. That's the only one I've got left. We go to hole 5. Subtly, I think, a very interesting hole. you've got the pin sandwiched between an out of bounds golf green and this bunker of trees that the basket used to be in. Suggestion from Neil was to pull it out, and actually it's made it a lot more complex because the miss tends to be short, so suddenly you've got to putt through some trees, make an approach through some trees. If you hit one, you're left with a long putt still. Obviously, if you push it long, you're on the golf green. Just an interesting hole, and obviously it shapes up well for the forehand. And any kind of backhand that straightens out a bit too much runs the risk of the green again. You're probably seeing already in terms of difficulty. I'd say the main requirements for this course are a little bit of distance and the ability to place a shot rather than hit a line, as I just miss the biggest line, and Alan also. Hey, believe it or not, I think he was aiming left of that bush in the middle. There's just so much airspace. It leads to it being quite forgiving. I think the level of this course definitely very beginner friendly. And it's the kind of place you begin to get more rewards as you get more comfortable throwing the disc. We've had lots of people come and play their first rounds here. It's first time round, you end up playing a lot of them for par quite comfortably. And then as you learn to get the nose down, get a bit more distance with your golf discs, you start getting these looks for birdies. And I think it plays quite fair. We'll see at the end of the round what a good score is. Our first par 4. So this one actually used to play with a Mando left of that silver birch you see on the left of your screen. But that was taken out because it was completely unsuitable. We'd be playing down the fairway of golf hole 8. And it was fun, but it was blind and just not conducive to making friends with the golfers. So that went. This, I think, was taken from Disc Golf UK's layout as well.
Get out.
Alan somehow throwing it on a 30-degree cut angle and getting it to go straight. Just cheeky second shot from me. I think I played that cool. Yeah. Those silver birches had some quite high branches that force you to play quite a wide shot, and it just dropped in for my first eagle. So I'll take that. This hole, again, very interesting. The trees really shape it so that you have to play two completely different shot shapes. This kind of placement backhand, and then either a forehand or if you get wide enough, the straight shot opens up. Again, taken from Disc Golf UK's perspective layout. But yeah, definitely more of a true par 4 than the previous one, just because of the shape required. At my peak, if any of my forehands look awkward, I'm doing physiotherapy right now, because I've knackered my shoulder from throwing them very irresponsibly. But even hitting my peak power getting about 120 meters, there's no way you're attacking that par 4. This one, good fun. We used to play this par 3, but it was just the same approach into the green every single time. So we dragged it back, and now it's quite a fun par 4. You want to get the right placement, get it wide because this green is quite protected from the front. Now you'll see why I shanked that shot in a minute. It was definitely for cinematic purposes. Here I'm making some excuse about the ground. It turns out it gets very boggy here in the winter, which we're now finding out. I don't know what Alan threw there, but he threw it quite hard. See, this is the most beautiful green on the course. Putting through this Y is a privilege. And it was a privilege to miss that putt.
Oh, rude.
Yeah. It's quite an attackable little par 4. Good fun. I'd say it's it's definitely my favourite green on the course. Does border near the edge of the property, but also you shouldn't be juicing anything that far to go out, especially with how dense the green is. Just a short par 3. There's a golf green if you drag it short and right, but we had to move the tee pad here from where we normally do play to the left because of the ground, and didn't really adjust for it and just threw the same shot and went very left. Those wispy willow branches just getting in the way as I waddle in, because Alan's taking a long time to clean his disc. Taking his time, lining it up. Clinical. Here is what I'd call the signature hole at Shelthorpe. Because it is a ball golf property, you get a lot of very wide open holes that I don't think a lot of other UK courses I've seen have. And it goes slightly downhill and then sneakily uphill again. People who come here tend to empty their bags on their first playthrough just because it's a great place to throw off. As I chump another shot. Dear God. This R-Pro dart is a magical disc. I think that was about a 15-meter putt. Alan we're not that good normally. Hole 12, playing up that hill that you just came down. I say hill, like incline. So I chump it again. I would describe this round as hot garbage. But in summer, this definitely plays as one of the hardest gaps to hit. The trees on either side of the fairway really bush out and make a very, very narrow gap where you want to push straight through and land somewhere by that trench, which puts you in a good position. Otherwise, sorry for Alan's language there.
No, that was visionary.
He hit about 3 different gaps, none of which were intended. I soft the putt. Yeah. I think I'm gonna just remove Alan's language there. Put this on the kid-friendly section of YouTube. Cleaning up our pars. Moving on to one of the few holes that's never changed because I put it here for my power forehand. And that was okay. It was about. It was alright.
All around.
I'm pitching up. His disc mysteriously disappears because we played out of order, and I decided to stitch it back in order. I soft another putt. It's thrilling viewing for you guys. But this is really the last long hole. The course it plays out like a story. You have a section of par 3s, then just a slew of par 4s. And then we're going into the back section of the course, which plays in a very condensed area, and they're all quite short attackable holes. This one I haven't got the hang of at all. I tried to throw some wide spike hyzer and caught a silver birch off to the right. Alan showing us how it's done. You can actually just go
That's very nice.
quite tight with the mid-range. I really need a gasp, lean back, clap counter for myself.
Oh, it's a bird for Alan.
It is a bird for Alan. Well done.
What was it?
Yeah, this section of the course, again, it borders onto an allotment, but I don't think there's really any danger of discs going over that boundary. The angle just isn't there to throw it. Now in summer, this is one of the most beautiful holes. Unfortunately, the thing that makes it beautiful is on the floor and has turned brown because those trees by the basket are a really dark red. And it's just really scenic looking down this fairway at them. The fairway is actually slightly deceptive. It slopes down to the left, so if you get your line wrong or you air it, you really go down a long way. It's also the one part of the course remaining where we maybe play out of step with the golf course. We go across the green of golf 14, but in the other direction to them. However, it's incredibly visible. You can see their tee, you can see who's playing. It might result in maybe waiting a few minutes for someone. But there's no danger to anyone. As we tap out there. 16, again, one that in summer, very tough gap to hit. In winter, it's still deceptively tough. A lot of those branches are very wispy.
Oh, get through. Oh.
I thought he got through, and then he hit a branch on the back side of the tree. I'm about to fluff this one in the air and go into the deep dark bushes on the left. Good up. Now, as the coach of Bluff Christian's Ultimate, it would be remiss of me not to throw a scooper. Lean back. No clap today, but gentle up.
You're about to turbo it.
Again, this, as you'll probably see in a minute, plays quite close to the tee of 17. Maybe an issue if permanent baskets were put in. But also, you don't really play through. This shouldn't be powering through there. But I am not an experienced course designer.
That's very nice.
As I soft another shot. There is actually a backhand hyzer gap as well, to the right of the tree I just hit. It's a short hole, but and I think it is the easiest on the course, but there's still a good amount of challenge. You have to throw a left to right shot. If it's not a forehand, you run the risk of going onto that green, and if you want to play a backhand hyzer, it's quite a small gap. As we go on to our final hole, quite a gimmicky hole. Double mando through those two oaks. It can break a good round at the end, but the layup zone just in front of the mandos puts you at about circle's edge, so it's basically, do you feel confident in putting? You can put it at the base and run a putt. I didn't see that big branch somehow. Leave myself with about a 20-footer. Put it in. Just as the light's fading, we got the round in. Always love coming to Shelthorpe. If you want to try it out, hopefully this video showing you some of what you want to see. All in all, I think it's quite a fun beginner course. I think it'd be excellent, hopefully one day, to get a permanent basket in here, as I've, for some reason, run the same clip again. I ended up on -5, which has equalled my own course record, not to toot my own horn, but firmly tooting it. Alan getting his first ever negative score here, -2. All in all, a good day after bogeying hole 2.